Hello everyone and welcome to a Chatty Get Ready with me, where I will be chatting and getting ready with you. I don't know, you don't have to be getting ready at the same time as me, but if you want to, you sure are welcome to join me. If not, sit back, relax, let's hang out, have a good time, you know, a little chit chat, little makeup, I don't know that it would really be classified as a get to know me, but you know, dive a little deeper into my thoughts, what's been on my mind lately, and then we can discuss in the comments down below. Maybe you all have been thinking about the same things. But before I get into it, you know, we'll let my primer set for a minute here. I do want to go ahead and thank the wonderful sponsor of this video, Skillshare. Woohoo! Thank you so much for sponsoring. From the second I heard about Skillshare, I knew it was going to be something that I myself would enjoy, and that is something that I have done over the years. You know, I myself consider myself to be a creative person. I've got an art degree, a couple art degrees technically, and even outside of that, just in my day-to-day life, you know, I would like to consider myself to be a creative person, and even if I'm not feeling so creative, there are plenty of classes on Skillshare that can inspire me to be creative. And if you are also looking for a platform to help you grow and learn and connect through creativity, Skillshare is there to help you. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring and creative classes for anyone who loves learning. You can invest in yourself and your personal growth. Especially if you have a specific skill that you are looking to learn, Skillshare is the perfect place to start. I recently took the class by Cassie on modern color theory. It's a master color mixing for watercolors class. I, like I said, am an artist, and it is good to just refresh my noggin year to year, month to month, all of that on colors, what goes well together, how to mix certain colors, and just really help myself to not get stuck in a rut with my color palettes in my paintings. So I'm super excited to put her tips and tricks into practice. But it's not just about art. I mean, if you want to take a class on productivity or that sort of a thing, there are tons of ways that you can be creative in your life. It's not just art focused. So if you want to go ahead and give Skillshare a try yourself, I would highly recommend it. The first 1,000, yes, that's 1,000 of you to sign up using my code THRIFTTHICK, it's the name of my channel here, or use the link down in my description. You are going to get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare, so you can start exploring your creativity today. So once again, thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring this and for giving out those 1,000 free trials. That is so very generous of you. To my viewers, I hope you all enjoy. Now, makeup time, as well as the topic of today's video. A lot of you have been asking me, because I use this quite often, just, you know, on days where I am just filming a random video, I'm not doing a weekly wear test, or like if I'm going on a date or something, this is the foundation that I choose. I adore this. I'd gotten this in a BoxyCharm, and I don't know that I tried it in the video. I think I might have asked if you guys wanted to see a weekly wear on it, and maybe I just didn't get any feedback or not enough feedback or something, I forget. But I went ahead and tried this myself, and whew! This is the Pūrlisse Ageless Glow Serum BB Cream with SPF of 40 in it. I have the shade Light, and this is one of my very favorite face products. It is just, it's so good. The color match is perfect. Why not? Let's do some whiskers. It gives such good coverage, but it looks so nice and natural. Wears beautifully. It is one of the most graceful fading foundations that I myself have ever tried on my face. And it's just, it's hydrating. I love that there's a good amount of SPF in here to add on top of the SPF that's already in my moisturizer. It's really good. I would highly recommend it. I think probably the biggest downside, and I could be wrong about this, but I feel like this might be one of those products, at least off the top of my head, something's telling me it's one of those products that has a pretty limited shade range. So if that's true, that's a big bummer. But if it does come in your shade, I would highly recommend it. I mean, are you kidding me? I haven't fully blended it yet, don't worry. But like, it's just, it's so good. It's so gorgeous. Lightweight. I really don't think I have a bad thing to say about it, except for the fact that I'm pretty sure, like I said, it doesn't have the best shade range out there. I mean, are you kidding me? It's so good. It hardly feels like I've put anything on my face. So yes, the topic of today's Get Ready With Me. I am going to be talking about class reunions. I won't specify it to college, even though that is what triggered me, set me off, whatever you're gonna want to say. I don't know that I would really use any of those words to classify what I was feeling, but you know, I got a flyer in the mail for my upcoming 10-year college graduation reunion, which is insane for me to think about. I mean, you know, obviously this is my college, so my high school 10-year reunion has come and gone, but that one I really didn't even think about because I don't even know who my class president was, who was on the student council, anything, but like, it was not the most well-oiled machine that getting put together, I don't think. Especially with me not being, I technically have my Facebook account, but I haven't used it in years and years, so without being on Facebook, I had no idea any of the going-ons of class reunions for high school. I had a couple of friends that went just for kicks and giggles, I believe, but yeah, wasn't anything to write home about, I don't think. And I feel like that's kind of how I feel about my college one as well. It's just one of those things where it's like, I mean, mainly for me, if I wanted to reune with these people, you know, reunite, whatever, I would do it on my own time. Like, I don't feel like I would want to reunite in a class reunion setting, at least not right now. Maybe at like, oh my god, a 60 year? I don't know that I'll still be alive. I'll be what, 90 something? My early 90s? That doesn't make sense. It'll be 50 years, so my 80s. Yeah. There we go. That's math. I've told this story many a time, but math has never been my strongest suit. Somehow I was in advanced math and stuff growing up, so I tested out of most of it for college, but for pre-dental, I, you know, had to take calculus, and I hadn't taken calculus before, and my main problem with math is that I just didn't take enough time with it. I would make one really stupid mistake, and then that would obviously lead to pure destruction, but like calculus was not my strong suit for sure. My friend and I that were struggling through it went to ask the professor for help, and he basically told us we were beyond saving and that we should both just drop out. So like, thanks for the encouragement, sir. I have forgotten your name, but I have not forgotten that visual or your words. So yeah, either way, college. What a strange time just in general. But especially for me, I was going through it. I was having an identity crisis. I was having relationship crises. I was struggling with my mental health deeply. I mean, like, real bad. And it's not that I look unfondly on my time in college, but I certainly don't look back on it fondly either. Certain things for sure, but as a whole, you know, it was a rough time. Things came out of it, don't get me wrong, but I don't know. Would I like to redo it? No. But, you know, it happened. It was an experience, whatever. And I think a lot of it, because I was going through so much, and I didn't have the best, well, I guess I learned coping skills and all of that while I was there. I just hadn't gotten a full grasp on implementing them. So the friendships that I made in college that, like, I thought at the time anyways were stellar, those people, I mean, I still look back fondly on those friendships, I do, but I also can realize that I was, you know, it's a two-way street, takes two to tango, but I do know that a lot of the destruction of those friendships came from me and my struggling through my depression and all of that. And it really hurts me to this day because, I mean, those were friendships that I thought, you know, if I were to ever get married, like, these would be bridesmaids of mine. I can't cry. I'm doing a get ready with me. Cassie, hold it together. But like, I met some awesome people in college. I really did. And unfortunately, I didn't do enough. And in some ways I did too much. So for me, there's that part of a reunion too that, like, especially for college, like, I don't think there's any bad blood, so to speak, with these people. I would hope none of them hate me. But, you know, if they do, I guess that is their right. And I feel like I would rather see them on like a one-to-one basis rather than at a reunion and being like, hey, oh my god, remember that one time? Yeah, me too. One of them especially was one of my roommates, and to this day I don't know exactly what happened, but I've tried on multiple occasions reaching out to her, and she just, I don't know, had enough of me. And I mean, when I say all this, I feel like it comes off as like I did horrible physical and emotional damage to these people. I don't think it was that bad. You know, when I say I was struggling with my depression and that kind of, you know, definitely didn't help my relationships, it was more so me just isolating myself. And these friends of mine were very outgoing and, you know, also just different life paths. Like, they were my roommates junior year, but then going into senior year, they either wanted to be in or were going to be in a sorority, and so they made new friends. They had their new group, and I was not a part of it. I just have personally never wanted to be in a sorority. I think I'm going to use my Mercury Retrograde palette here today. But yeah, either way, I would first like to fix relationships in real life rather than reunion life. It's just a me thing, and I'm sure, you know, maybe other people have been through the same thing here. I know, you guys, I'm using an eyelash curler. Who am I? I just feel like my lashes have been looking especially straight lately. I never know, like, what's a good get ready with me? Camera positioning. That is it? I wouldn't be surprised. But so yeah, you know, just seeing one person in particular that I didn't even know that they were on the student council in college, but that person, they were a fellow art major and I didn't care for them a lot, but of course I saw them on the little flyer thing that came in the mail about the reunion, and I was like, oh my gosh, I wonder what they're up to. And so one of my once a year times or whatever going onto Facebook, I'm like, I'm gonna look them up, see what they're up to. And it's like, you know, you just fall into this deep dark hole of not only them, but then, you know, you see the friends in common or whatever, and then you start looking up more people, and you see all of these successes, because growing up, that's what success was having a family at this point of our lives, you know, in our early 30s. There are babies involved, they're married, and likely are successful in business or whatever else they're doing, you know? It's social media. It's all smiles and happiness for the most part that get posted, and so that's what we're seeing, and that's our measure of success. Do you have a family? Do you have a good job? Are you making money? Are you debt-free? Do you have a house? These kinds of, like, standards that, like, I always told myself growing up, like, I am never gonna allow myself to measure my success based on these things, like whether or not I have a partner or kids or this, that, the other. And yet, hey, hi, hello, here I am. When did that happen? When does that happen? I don't know. But I don't like it. Just that comparison. It's a horrible thing. It is, isn't it the biggest, don't they say comparison is the biggest thief of joy or something along those lines? It's probably much more articulate than how I just stated it. But like, the successes that I would say I have in my life are just so much different than that. And I hate to admit it, but like, I do worry, or not worry, but like, I wonder and think about and get anxious about, you know, like, what people think of me. And if I were to go to one of these things, you know, relationship things aside, would people be like, wow, Cassie didn't do so great. She didn't end up achieving her dream, at least at the time, her dream of being an art professor, and she is super duper single, and you know, typical cat lady, still in debt, although granted the debt is just from grad school. I paid off my college stuff a while ago, but like still, she's in debt and has 2 cats and is single and is a low-level YouTuber. Like, please, this is my negative brain talking, because in reality, it's like, no, I am a powerful, self-employed, self-made businesswoman doing her own thing on YouTube online. She makes her own rules, she makes her own money, she has her own place, she has 2 beautiful fur children that are healthy and happy and spoiled. She does volunteer work on the side that she adores and wants to do more. She has not a husband and children family, but she has family that she adores and that adores her. You know, uncles, dad, mom, stepdad, stepfamily, brother, nieces, nephews, in-laws. She is loved, she is cared for, she loves and cares for. She has her hobbies, she has fun, she has good friends. There's no reason for me to look down on myself, but you know, that is my good old friend depression talking for sure. And also, even if I didn't have depression, I'm sure this negative self-talk, it would still be there. It would, because it was there before I had clinical depression. You know, in middle school, high school, you know, then there's that component of a reunion where people, you know, the stereotype of people just wanting to go to see who fell off and who gained the most weight and who did this, that, the other, and who had the biggest transformation and who's hot now. I hate that. I hate that. I hate that. I hate that. Especially me, having been on a continuous journey of self-love and self-acceptance with my body and with my weight. Like, I've gotten to a place where I'm better about not judging my worth based on that. And I just hate that as a society that is still perpetuated. These shadows really work better with your finger, don't they? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Ooh. Yeah. But you know, I guess while I have worked on myself and I am in a better place, I'm also not in the best place, because if that were the case, I would be able to go to one of these things and be like, F what everyone thinks. But unfortunately, I'm not there yet. I hope to be there at one point in my life, like I said, maybe at my 60th or my 50th. You know, I hope it doesn't take that long, but hey, if it does, at least eventually I made it. And I hope that eventually I can mend these friendships. You know, I would love to hear what you guys think about friendships. It's one thing if a friendship just fizzled out, but like, especially in a friendship where you feel like you did the person wrong, and that's kind of why you're probably not friends anymore. How do you mend that? Is it really as simple as just saying, hey, how's it going? Can we meet up? Because I scare myself. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? They don't respond, or they do respond and they say no. I guess that's the worst that could happen. I don't know. I don't know how to go about it, and I wish I did. You know, I think there's definitely a falsity that comes across being a YouTuber, that we are communicators just because we talk for a living, and I don't know, I guess I just don't know. Who wants more glitter? Me! Because what better way to boost my positivity than by putting glitter on my face? You know, sometimes it is the best solution, but yeah, do you guys have thoughts? You know, is it better for me to like let them do their healing however long it takes, and like if they ever want to be friends with me again, they can reach out? Or do I take it into my own hands and hope for the best? I really don't know. Because there are, at least in dating, there's all the sayings about, oh, if you get silence, that's your answer. But like, also, is that just the case if you get silence after you've initiated conversation, not after it's been 10 years? It is. It's a strange place that this college reunion flyer has put me in. And who knows, like maybe the people that I looked up and stuff that I want to reconnect with, that I would love to be friends with again, maybe they're thinking the same thing. Maybe they're thinking, you know, they've got their happy posts on Facebook and stuff, but like maybe they're thinking, wow, like maybe not even necessarily with me, but just in general, maybe they're thinking like, God, I wish I still had some of those friends that I had in college. Like, how do I reach out to them? Maybe they're thinking the same thing, and maybe it would be a really happy message for them to receive, to see that they are still wanted as a friend, you know? It's such a strange thing to navigate sometimes. Adult friendships. Once you're out of school, be it middle school, high school, college, whatever, and you don't see these people on a daily, weekly basis because you're forced into a class with them or whatever, or by chance you got into a class with them, and it's like you have to do the maintaining on your own, and then there's romantic relationships that get in the way, and I know there's always people saying like, that's ridiculous and that's just an excuse and blah blah blah, but even if it is an excuse, I also think it's a reality. Like, you know, we're getting old, we're getting tired. A lot of people have their romantic partner that if they do finally have spare time outside of work and family and all that, they would rather spend it with their romantic partner than get together with a friend. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. It just kind of is what it is, you know, different stages of life. And sometimes it doesn't matter whether you're still in high school, middle school, learning to put on mascara, or you should know by now. Sometimes you just F up your makeup and you gotta let Frank Sinatra do his thing in your head saying, that's life. And then you join in saying, that's life. So yeah, there we go, my friends. That was my mini TED Talk, or maybe more so just my mini head talk about where I'm at. Feelings that I've had recently, and feelings that I'm sure some of you share, and I would love to hear from you about whether or not you share those feelings and what your opinions are in those comments down below. Simple makeup today, but I feel fresh. I feel good. I'm ready to film another video. Thank you so much once again to Skillshare for giving out those 1,000 free 1-month trials to my viewers. Again, my link is in the description down below. My code is ThriftThick, and yeah, I just appreciate them as a sponsor. I appreciate them as a creative platform, and I appreciate you all. So, as I said, try your luck. See if you get to be one of those first 1,000. Also, leave me a comment. Also, you can leave me a like, a thumbs up down below. I would really appreciate it. And if you're new here, hey, hi, hello, how are you? You can go ahead and subscribe. You can tippity tap the notification bell down below and become a member of my casserole family here on my channel. I'd love to have you here. And as always, I just hope you guys are all doing well. And until next time, just stay well until then. Bye!